Hangzhou's City Hall, the symbol of a city driven by technology. With around 5 million inhabitants in its center and a further 4 million living in the surrounding region, based on only the numbers, this city, southwest of Shanghai, is not a leading metropolis. But when it comes to science, research, education, and culture, it is one. Hangzhou possesses the winning combination of romanticism and innovation, just like Heidelberg. Therefore, the Chinese administration sees huge potential in the cooperation that has existed, according to this paper, since 2016.
Nachdem wir vor 2 Jahren
Having signed a new sister city partnership between Heidelberg and Hangzhou 2 years ago, the City Council of Heidelberg decided to make it official last year. This year, we traveled to Hangzhou to talk to the new city government about how we will shape our city partnership and what we want to achieve. We will start with the first steps this year.
Noch in diesem Jahr mit den ersten Maßnahmen beginnen.
Measures include cooperation in the education sector, such as exchange programs. Moreover, the different concepts of vocational education are important for our Chinese partners. During talks in the City Hall, representatives from both cities were able to identify several mutually relevant points of interest that promise to lead to a lively exchange. Tourism and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are part of what is being considered. Another important factor in Hangzhou is technology, especially relevant for Dr. Johannes Tröger, representing Heidelberg's technology company AMERIA. He is making contact with Alibaba, the Chinese equivalent to Amazon, and is offering them AMERIA's innovative sales concepts. We had been toying with the idea of contacting Alibaba for some time, but never seemed to have the connection to them. Especially when it comes to China, it is so important to have the city of Heidelberg's backing in order to establish these contacts. Things have just fallen into place beautifully, and we are delighted that we could be here as a part of this delegation.
Kamen hier die Dinge sehr gut zusammen und wir freuen uns sehr, dass wir hier auf der Delegation dabei sein konnten.
In contrast to Germany, in China, the city government has a huge influence on the economy, the companies, and scientific or academic institutions of their city. We need to establish a positive and trustworthy relationship with the city government in order to create the right atmosphere of cooperation that will allow opportunities for our companies, institutions, or medical centers. City representatives, local entrepreneurs, experts in education and health from Heidelberg are part of a large German group currently visiting China. Representing the University Hospital Heidelberg is Commercial Director Imtraud Gürkan. She is presenting life science findings from Germany and specifically Heidelberg at the Chinese-German High-Tech Dialogue Forum in Hangzhou, highlighting the interaction of sciences, business, and healthcare. The discussions with specialists from China result in concrete strategies of cooperation, such as the joint evaluation of data for research purposes, but there is more to it than just that.
Wir haben erfahren, mit welcher Geschwindigkeit sich in China.
We learned about the great speed at which China is developing not only commercial endeavors, but also scientific ones. For us, a university hospital with a strong focus on scientific research, on clinical research, future cooperation in the life sciences, above all, gene diagnostics and gene therapies, could be immensely important. While we already have numerous good contacts to Chinese university hospitals, but here in Beijing, there are ideas that could be explored further.
Für uns natürlich faszinierend in dem kleinen Heidelberg und mit einer.
For us, in Little Heidelberg, in our rather small university hospital, if you compare it to Chinese ones, the large patient numbers here are of particular interest. They could enable us to arrive at collaborative research results much more quickly.
Viel schneller auch zu einem Ergebnis bringen kann.
A further priority at the conference in Hangzhou, Industry 4.0, or its Chinese equivalent, Made in China 2025. Here, it's all about the development and implementation of systems to make industry smarter, to simplify processes, and individualize production. Here, former German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder is acting as ombudsman and facilitator, and also as a supporter of the city partnership of Heidelberg and Hangzhou.
Man muss sagen, Heidelberg ist ein bisschen vorneweg.
Heidelberg is ahead a bit, and Heidelberg and Hangzhou are a good match. Not only is there a lot of industry, but also plenty happening in terms of education and research, both here in China and especially in Heidelberg. The approach that is being taken here, supported by the city, which has initially evaluated it and decided to support it, seems to me to be an excellent example of how the German-Chinese relationship can create a win-win situation.
Chinesische Beziehungen, die eine, wie die Engländer sagen, Win-Win-Situation schaffen können.
Henning Kagermann, former chairman of the management board of SAP, and until recently president of Akatech, introduced the history of Industry 4.0 in Germany and its current standing. The professor of theoretical physics is renowned as a leading authority on Industry 4.0 vision and acts as an advisor on it for, amongst others, the German government. In China, he is a respected guest whose opinions carry weight, also regarding his opinion of Heidelberg. In Germany, the Rhein-Neckar region is one of the 3 leading regions in Germany, also for Industry 4.0. The region has always been an example of the regions of excellence in Germany. That is what we have always tried to communicate abroad, that we have regions of excellence rather than a single center, where many things come together. Top companies such as SAP and BASF, top universities such as Heidelberg's, and research institutions such as Max Planck and Fraunhofer. When such institutions are geographically condensed in a place like Rhein-Neckar, amazing things are created, born out of the small and mid-sized businesses and the many startups.
Kommt natürlich mit den vielen Mittelständlern und Startups auch einiges Tolles bei heraus.
A Heidelberg night allows a taste of Heidelberg to pervade Hangzhou, a meeting point for city representatives, potential investors, and multipliers. They absorb what is important about Heidelberg, the combination of the traditional and the innovative, as well as the sustainability of projects and the continued ambition to be pioneers. Pivotal point for the Chinese partners is Heidelberg's China desk, as well as the privately run Sino-German high-tech park in the former MLP Tower, as well as the Heidelberg Innovation Park, which is under construction on parts of the area which was once the patent barracks. A further high-tech conference, this time in Beijing. The event has been advertised on flags such as this one throughout the city. Professor Christoph Hettich, CEO of SRH Holding, is on the panel. There is enormous interest in the German dual system of education in China. It unites theory and work experience from the outset. Colleges and companies work together in the education of young people. There are points of contact for startups as well. Zhongguan Development Group, who have just recently opened an office in Heidelberg's Sino-German high-tech park, is developing corporate spin-offs of academic projects in collaboration with renowned universities in Beijing, such as Tsinghua University or Beijing University. They can then find their initial location here in Beijing's TUS Park, next to companies such as Microsoft or Google. In Haidian, Beijing's high-tech district, companies founded in Zhongguan now have their seats in modern industrial parks and have since become some of the world's internet giants. For example, Tencent, inventor of the messaging app WeChat, or Baidu, the Chinese equivalent of Google, or Lenovo, with its continued IT market growth. Some of China's most influential companies are concentrated in this area, as are tens of thousands of others, whose future in the Chinese Silicon Valley is yet to be determined. The regional administration of Haidian is also keen on building a relationship with Heidelberg and sees the city as a gateway to Germany and Europe. In talks in the City Hall of Haidian, life sciences and cooperation in healthcare play particularly prominent roles. There is talk of building an international hospital in Beijing, but also an interest in cooperation regarding funding for newly founded initiatives on both sides, in China as well as in Germany. Professor Sompo Chu, who earned his habilitation at Beijing University, acts as a facilitator here as well.
The
governor said that he would like to intensify the cooperation with Heidelberg. We already have the city partnership of the cities. Now he would like to fill this with projects, content. According to him, the Sino-German high-tech park is an ideal platform for such cooperation, and he will motivate Chinese high-tech companies to settle in Heidelberg.
Chinesische Hightech-Unternehmen bewegen, in Heidelberg anzusiedeln.
The idea is also endorsed by Gerhard Schröder after he looked into the project. What Heidelberg is attempting here is something I can endorse fully, to provide an infrastructure for medium-sized Chinese companies so that things are undertaken in Heidelberg, not just simply taken over. That is the novelty of the project in hand, working together for the benefit of both parties. And that is a concept that can really be welcomed with open arms. Beijing and Hangzhou. Closer cooperation and concrete projects are being developed in both cities. Strategic relationships of the highest value.